Dumela,
Shalom.
and welcome back to Stepping Stones to Home. So, family, as you guys know, we've been in this beautiful country of Botswana a little over a year now.
Yeah, I think about 14, going on 15 months. So
Okay.
yeah, a little over a year.
Yeah. So, we've had time to really get to know the area, find all the good prices for things, look at the different homes and everything. And a lot of people have been asking us, could you guys give us a little insight onto what is the actual cost of living?
Yeah.
So today, that's what we're going to do, is show you what we found. And we hope that this helps somebody. So let's get into it.
Yeah, when we first got here, we did a short video on just the information that we had at that time. But we had only been here for about 4 months at that time.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a lot of information to share. But since being here for some time now, we can definitely give you some prices of what you will be looking to pay if you plan on relocating to Botswana.
Some actual factual stuff this time.
Yeah. So most of the time, well, I'm not going to say most of the time, what you find in Gaborone, which is the capital of Botswana, you have more of the newer modern neighborhoods. You have Pakalani. It's not newer, but it's where a lot of the expats live. They have larger homes.
Yes.
But if you wanted a 5-6 bedroom home, you could find it in Pakalani. And then you have Block 10. They have homes that size too. However, Block 10 is newer, so they're going to be a bit more modern. Pakalani, you're going to have large homes, but they're older homes for the most part. You will find some newer ones, but there are a lot of older homes in Pakalani.
Right.
The prices we're going to be giving you today is if you are living on the outskirts of Gaborone. They call them the villages, but it's really not a village. They're neighborhoods. And they're only about 10 to
20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes
10
max.
to 20 minutes outside of Gaborone.
Right.
So you're still pretty close. I know for us, we don't like to be right in the city. However, we like to be close enough if you have any type of medical emergency, if you want to go to any of the malls or any specific stores that may carry some of the things that you need that they may not have in the village. The good thing about here in Botswana, it doesn't matter really where you live, what city, you have a lot of stores. You have grocery stores or pretty much anything that you need.
And little hospitals, they might not have all the stuff that the hospital in the capital will have, but you break a bone, get a bad cut, they can sustain you till they can get you to the major hospital.
So, you'll find that in the villages, but still, like we say, you're only about 10 to 20 minutes to the city.
Right.
So you're still pretty close to everything. So we're going to go over just like 2-bedroom homes because that's what you find in abundance here.
Right.
On the outskirts. You will find 3-4 bedrooms, but we're going to do 2 bedrooms because you see a lot of 2-bedroom homes here, which it was surprising to me because in the U.S., normally if it's a standalone home, it's like 3 bedrooms
or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
Apartments are normally 2, maybe 1 bedroom, So let's just start there. So if you're going to be living on the outskirts, again, 20 minutes away. For a 2-bedroom home, you can expect to pay 190 USD to 290 USD.
Right.
For rent per month. Here in Botswana is not like other countries like Tanzania. I think it's a few other. I think Ghana is the same way, where you have to actually pay all of your rent up front for the year. Here it's month to month. You can set up things with them if you would like to pay more, but it's not required to pay up front for the entire year.
And you do have a security deposit.
Yes.
Security deposit, and if you go through a real estate company to find a home, there are usually a realtor's fee. That sometimes it depends on how you're looking at it. Sometimes it's worked out between the person who's renting the home out, and sometimes it's because you contacted the realtor. So it depends.
Right, and they'll call it a finder's fee sometimes.
Right.
And normally it's pretty low. So it's not that expensive to find a home here. And I'm talking about a nicer home. You can find something. Most of the time, if you find them, I say on the higher end of that budget, you're going to find them already. I'm middle to high end with ACs already inside of the rooms. So there is no central AC in the homes here, but they do have their own individual AC heating units where it's one unit and it does AC and heat. And you need both of them living in Botswana.
Right.
I don't want y'all to come here and say I just opened my window. No, you won't.
It gets cold and it gets hot.
It gets really hot. So you will need the AC sometimes.
Yeah. And some people have asked us during consultations, can you get a furnished home? Mm-hmm. So yes, you can get a house that's furnished already, and it will be on the higher end because you got all your furniture already in the house.
Yes. Now I am going to throw this in because I did say I was going to do the outskirts, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. If you decide to rent in the city, it's going to be from around 340 to 530 USD for you to rent that inside the city. A lot of times they're definitely going to be more modern. They're definitely going to be on paved roads.
Right. Closer to amenities.
Closer to all the malls and everything in town. So you're going to pay for the location. You're going to pay for the modern amenities. So if you're looking to be in the city, just know that you're going to be paying close to $400 to $500 to be in the city, which is still not bad.
Look, for y'all, let me get close for this. In the U.S., y'all know we wish we was paying that much for a nice house, but so just saying.
Right. So for the electricity, now this is not for people who don't know how to turn off lights in their house. This is people that discipline their children to make sure you turning off them lights.
Wait. Now I can say it so I can feel like I know something. For my eco-friendly people.
So electricity is going to run you from $90 to $150 a month here, and that it doesn't matter if you're in the city or on the outskirts. The electricity is the same pretty much for the house size, and it just really depends on your usage. If you are a person, like I say, that is going to make sure that if you're not in a room, you turn off ACs. If you're not in a room, you're turning off your lights. If you're not using your computers, different things, you have them turned off. Then this is the price. If you're a person that just leaves stuff on, then your price will be a lot higher than that. But most of us are adults and we have learned how to turn stuff off if we're not using it right. So that's around the price that you would pay.
Yeah. And your electricity here is prepaid. Mm-hmm. So like she said, if you know you're an eco-friendly person or you're I just don't care, I leave all the lights on, then know that you're paying up front. So what that means is there's a little box inside of each place and you go and you pay however much you want to put. If it's 1,000 pula, 1,200 pula, then you punch it in and you use it until it runs out.
Yeah. So it's really convenient. I do like the prepaid. I know here in Botswana, they're supposed to be going to the prepaid water as well. And that's going to be wonderful to have the prepaid. I prefer to know if I can put a little bit, I can budget it. I know when it's going to go out, how much I need to put every month. I prefer that because in the U.S., I don't trust what you pay for electricity and stuff like that. I don't know how they be charging people. Why would we be paying $500 for electricity
for a week?
And I don't understand in the U.S. But yeah, I do like the preload boxes. Water here is around $18 to $25 per month. Water is very cheap here.
When the last time y'all saw a bill that low for water?
Like I said, here, right now, you do get that water bill and you have to pay it, but they are slowly transitioning to prepaid water as well in Botswana. So that is great. Internet.
Yes. There are many options. Just to tell you, there's options. So the phone companies, you have a company called BTC, you have Masscom, and you have Orange. Now, you can do it many different ways. You can get actual router in the house. You can get a little box that you can carry with you anywhere and use the Wi-Fi, or you can get Starlink. We do have Starlink here in Botswana. So there's many options for it. They also, so you're good.
So I'm just going to go with one of the higher packages, well, the mid-grade to higher packages here in Botswana for internet. You're paying around 45 to 60 bucks a month. And I mean, for a small family, it works well. If you have a lot of people living with you, you're going to pay more than that. Because I'm just being honest, the more people that's using the internet, the faster it goes here. And then the closer you get to the end of the month, if you've used most of your data, it starts to slow down. So until you re-up on that internet. But you can get good internet here for around 45 to 60 bucks a month. And it's not like in a lot of the other African countries, like they have good internet here. If you're somebody that, you work online or anything like that, you won't have a problem with using the internet. Right. You can actually do your work here. So that was really nice. Let's see. The next thing is your phone. So you need phone calls here. It's not like in the US where you pay one price per month for your phone bill. You have data included. No. So here you have to buy your phone calls and your data separately for your phones. So I'm just going to talk about my husband and I and our phones right now. We pay about $4 for our phones. That's for calls. That's each. Right. $4 each. It's going to cost you anywhere from, I'm going to say $4 to $6 on the high end because he talks a lot on his phone. I don't. So the money that you put on your phone rolls over. You have a year before they'll just wipe it out and then you have to start over. Right. So if you don't use all of it, it just rolls over. So my phone be stacking up because I don't call a lot of people. A lot of people don't call me. I am not a phone person.
Most of her phone calls are on WhatsApp. So long as she's got internet, so she's good.
Right. And most of us have learned to use the internet for the most part over here because it's not free, but you don't really have to pay too much in phone calls. But yeah, we pay about $4 each for our data for our phone, and that lasts us the whole month. Right. And like I said, if you want a little bit more, $6 should be plenty for you to make phone calls. Coming over here, especially, you don't know that many people, so you don't have a lot of people that you have to call. And then family members, you're using WhatsApp to call them,
Facebook Messenger, yeah.
Or if you use the Yola app or something like that. But it's pretty cheap. If you want data for your phones, if you have home internet, you don't need a lot of data for your phone. Because most of the time your phone, when you're home, is connected to your home internet. So we pay about $9 for our data. But you'll pay about $9 to $15 a month for data for your phone. We're getting, 6 gigabytes for $9. And so that lasts us about a month and a few days. And so you just reload every month. They have apps here. Once you come to the country, you just pay through the app. Yep. So keep reloading your phone. Yes, mobile money. It's great. So you want to talk about the groceries?
Yes, groceries. So I wish that the groceries in the U.S. for y'all was this price. So we're spending. So we go shopping every 2 weeks.
But this is more than what we spend. I want to give y'all a little bit more than what we spend for groceries.
Well, no, I just want to talk about for us, and I'll let you do the prices. but it's just the two of us. So for us, we do shopping every 2 weeks, and the way we do our meals is we make a meal for 3 days at a time. Mm-hmm. And then normally, like on Sunday, it's kind of like every man for himself, every man or woman for themselves. Yes. So now that's how we do it. But we understand to each his own, but still, it's not bad grocery shopping here. So for people who don't do like us, even if you go shopping every week, you're probably looking, let's estimate anywhere from about 260 USD to about what?
I think about 375. And I think that is a hefty budget.
Yes.
375. So, yeah, that's about how much you pay for the month for food.
Yeah, so, your toiletries and all that in there.
Right. Now, it may be a lot more expensive than other African countries, but it's still way cheaper than what people are paying in the U.S. for groceries. And this is even not just two people. This is if you have a couple kids, too.
Right.
You can get groceries for around this price for the month. Now, that ain't giving your children every single thing that they ask for in the grocery store, but this is them being able, the whole household being able to have your snacks, little treats, right, and then your main meals. So the prices are decent. So monthly transport.
Now, let's talk about the transport. So for when we say monthly transport, yes, you can buy a car here in Botswana, no issues. You can buy a car. But let's just say this is when you first get here and, you need to get around. So we're talking about contacting one of the driving apps similar to Uber. They have two here that we suggest to people. InDrive is one. And then there's a new one called Yango. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so those are two companies that are just like Uber. They don't have Uber here, but they do have those two companies. So that's when we say transport, we're talking about that.
Yes, I didn't add the what they call the combis here is the bus, because I know a lot of us can feel a little uncomfortable at first taking the bus.
Right.
So I just added in for InDrive, or like I said, if you're doing Yango. Transport is about 180 to 360 bucks a month. Now, I'm gonna say that is minimum going and coming.
Right.
Because when you first get here, I know you may be raring to see things, but you do have to consider that adds up real fast.
Right.
So this is basically, if you a couple days a week, maybe 3 days a week, you have them take you to 2 different places, you coming back home. That's the price that you're going to average monthly. That's 180 to 360 bucks a month.
Now I do want to say that you can, find someone to be a driver for you, and you can work out something very reasonable to where you can say, hey, look, I know for a fact I'm going to need you 2 days a week, and work out a price that works for both of you. And they'll take you where you need to be with you while you're there, and then bring you back home afterwards. And, or you can work out with them to be on call for you, and if they're available, they will come get you. So that's an opportunity here as well.
And a lot of times, I know it takes time to get to know people that you trust, but a lot of times that can work out better if you're a person who maybe you don't want to buy a car, or maybe you're saving for a car, or maybe you're a person who you don't drive. A lot of times that can be a better option than just taking the InDrive and Yango for different places, because that can add up after a while. But like my husband said, sometimes you can work out really good deals with drivers who can do it for a better cost. And if you do decide to buy a car, which we'll do another video on the cost of vehicles here in Botswana, but your gas, if you do a small car, your gas is going to be around 45 to 60 bucks for the month.
Yeah.
Because, and that's literally with like filling up your tank twice. So it is not a lot if you have a small car. Now, if you have larger vehicles, then of course gas guzzlers, the prices gonna shoot up from there.
But still nothing like in the U.S.
Right. To each your own with whatever type of vehicle they have. But if you have a small car and they have a plethora of small cars here, take your pick.
Yeah.
Your gas is not going to be that much. They're really good as far as gas mileage. And so you can ride a lot for a little. So it is definitely beneficial to having a smaller vehicle if you're trying to stay on budget here.
Mm-hmm.
I understand if you have a large family, you ain't got no choice.
Right.
But that's going to be for a small car, for a small family. The other thing is, if you are not going to homeschool your children, most of us, like when we come to the continent or other countries or whatever, we normally want to put our children in schools where the curriculum maybe is a little bit better than a U.S.'s curriculum or very close to it.
So international.
Right. So international schools are normally what I see our people putting their children in. Now I got these numbers from my sis. She has 2 children, 2 boys who are in school age, and they've enrolled them in school. And these were the prices that they found by going to several of the nice international schools here in Botswana, in Gaborone. So the fees were anywhere from around $980 per term. Now a term is 3 months here in Botswana. So $980 per term. That is per child.
Right.
Okay. So preschool is around $680 per term.
Every 3 months.
So if you have a child that's like maybe special needs, then that price is going to go up. It's going to be around $980 per term, even for preschool.
Right.
So just know that it is definitely a lot cheaper if you do some sort of online schooling for your child. Homeschooling, because if you do it here, it can be quite expensive to do schooling here.
Right.
Especially if you have a lot of children. That's a lot of money that you have to dish out. And I do want to say, they do have a lot of homeschooling programs here. For families that homeschool, you can sign your children up almost anywhere. You can find them in just about every neighborhood, where you can send your child to the homeschooling program, where it's like a school, but a smaller, very, very small scale place where the children come and they can, you can send them there for specific subjects or specific activities, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Also, our sis shared with us that even if you're homeschooling, that your child, like say the international school, they have a program that, like a chess club, an aeronautical club, something like that, that even though your child is being homeschooled, they can come and sign up for that class, and they just show up when that program is going on. So they do have items like that you can do.
Other options.
Yes.
So if you want to save some money, you don't have to enroll them into a full-time international private school. You can do the homeschool route. Whatever subjects you're not comfortable teaching, you can send your children for that subject on specific days. If you want them to have extracurricular activities during the time and days they have those activities, you can send your child as well. So you have options. The other thing, I'm just going to give just some basic prices for activities. If you want to go to one of the parks here, they don't have a lot. And I'm saying like the little nature reserves, maybe some of the couple of the parks that have like the river boat rides and camping and stuff like that. For entrance fees, you're going to pay anywhere from $3 to $8 per person. If you want to go to a nice restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant, I'm gonna give you low, ball, and high. Okay, anywhere from $15 to $30 per person.
Right.
And they do have a lot of restaurants here, and a lot of the restaurants have pretty good food here.
Some have really good food.
Some have, really good food here. So that's pretty much what you have to do. They do have a couple of movie theaters here. I did not get the prices for those. I was supposed to, but I forgot. But they normally only have about 4 movies playing at one time. But they do have recent movies playing. So it's available, but the theaters don't be packed here. I just tell you like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much your entertainment here for your children. They have a couple of nice little playgrounds at a couple of malls, but they have some little parks that may have a pool in it. Maybe some ATVs for children. It's not a lot. I'm just being honest. It's not a lot to do in Botswana, but it's a lot of malls. It's a lot of, like I say, nice eateries. They do have a few places for your children to play. So they do have the little nature reserves. Some of them have playgrounds. So, you can find things to entertain yourself here.
So what does that mean to all of those who are wondering, what can I do in Botswana? There's opportunity, opportunity, opportunity.
Yes. So once you come here, once you get your residency in Botswana, you're probably going to want to get insurance. So just keep that in mind. I have not priced insurance as of yet. I do plan on pricing it for my husband and I, because, it's just good to have.
Yeah.
You never know, but you want to definitely price you out some insurance for your family. And if not, just keep in mind to put some emergency cash to the side, your own personal savings for your own personal health savings. Put that to the side. In addition to these things.
Right.
I would suggest for one person per month, if you could put to the side maybe $1,000 to $2,000 per person per month, I think that would be good. When you're going to be seen by the doctors, it doesn't normally cost that much. You can expect to pay, let me count it up, maybe $20 to go see a doctor, around $20.
That's good.
So, right. And they do have lots of pharmacies here. And the medicines don't cost a lot.
No,
at all. I've had to get medicine from the pharmacy. I do my best not to take any type of medicine, but I have had to take some medicine here, and it doesn't cost a lot here. And just for people who have pre-existing conditions, I just want to let you know, here in Botswana, they have really good doctors.
Really good.
They really do. They're knowledgeable, and their bedside manner is way better than anything you're going to find in the U.S. Hands down. And so you don't have to worry about it. They do have a lot of the medicines that we're accustomed to in the U.S. They have them here. So if you have things, if you're diabetic, if you
high blood pressure,
different things like that, because I know those are two of the common things, amongst our people. They do have medicines for that. Now, even though I'm saying they have it, I'm just going to tell you all, my people, I'm going to do a video on these things too. We want to do our best to come off of medicine. So it's okay to get it while you need it, but
pharmaceutical medicine
suggest, you finding natural things that can help you and praying and finding out what is causing your ailment.
The core of it.
And asking Yahuwah for the answers to cure that ailment.
Yes.
So, just so y'all know, everything is here. They have even good hospitals if you are pregnant and you want to deliver babies here or have babies here. They have good hospitals here, private hospitals here.
They have good doulas here as well.
So Botswana has pretty much everything you need if you're not a person that just, I'm gonna say younger. I'm gonna be honest, because a lot of us, we've gotten close to middle age now. Close to middle age. And
I'm 16.
We just, you miss that age?
I do.
I don't. We just don't do stuff like we used to. We don't hang out like we used to all night and all kind of stuff like that. We don't want to do that. We want to sleep. Younger people, it's not a lot that young people like to do here. I'll say that. And I love it. But if you're just looking for a place to live, if you're looking for a place to start a business, to help the country to grow, you're not looking to just have this elaborate lifestyle of the rich and famous lifestyle. Botswana is a really nice country.
Very nice.
It is a really nice country. I was pleasantly surprised when I came here. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
So it made me comfortable. It made me comfortable with even medical things that both of us had been dealing with. It made me comfortable. The doctors made me comfortable. The people made us comfortable.
The professionalism that we ran into here has just been amazing.
Made us very comfortable. And so it's a nice place. It's a very nice place if you want somewhere to live. It's not a wild place. It's not the wild, wild west. You're not going to find a bunch of clubs on every corner. And we don't want that here.
Nope. Y'all leave that in Babylon.
We want people to start real businesses if you're going to come over here and help out the people in the economy. If you older, come chill, relax. Spend your money in the country.
Right, and enjoy it.
So that's pretty much it as far as the expenses for living here in Botswana. I can't think of anything else. Can you?
No, let's give them the range for the total.
Oh, okay.
What it was. So living here in Botswana, you can comfortably live based off the demographics that we just gave you.
And this is again for a smaller family. If it's a family of 2 to maybe 4 people.
Right. You're probably looking on the low end about $1,500-$1,600 on the low end, up to
$1,800 to $2,000 on the high end.
Yeah.
So it's very reasonable here in Botswana.
Yeah.
It really, really is. That's pretty much all I can think of. There are malls for you to go shopping, clothing. Now that's the only thing about clothing. Sometimes I'd be looking at them like,
We'll talk about that in another
time.
Yeah.
But it's a nice place. So we wanted to give y'all a little bit of that information. And if you have any questions about Botswana, our information is in the description box. And it's just like we always say, we're just trying to help our brothers and sisters that want change.
Right.
We know our ancestors are from here, and our people that we're ready for a change. We're ready to come back home like we were told to do.
All right, family. We appreciate you guys hanging on during this video here. So listen, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, then hit that notification button so that you are notified every time one of our videos come on. And for everybody else, please leave a comment, and share this video with your friends, family, co-workers, everybody out there. All right. Also, if you would like to support what we're doing here on the continent, you can become a Patreon member. And we do have a new tier in our Patreon where you can get a t-shirt with our logo on it.
Yeah.
So for those of you who actually take part in that, please find us on Instagram, take a picture of yourself in the shirt once you get it, and share that with us so we can give you a shout out on our next video. All right. Also, you can support us through Cash App, which is in the description box. Other than that, do you have anything else, love?
we're here for y'all. For anybody that's trying to make steps to find their way home, we're here to help you in any way we can. So yes, our information is there, and we're always here to talk and to answer any questions you may have.
All right, family. Shalom.
Shalom.